Hello, it's Gabriela Lira with the Lira Group at Compass, and I am here with Ryan McKinney of McKinney and Green. And he is going to talk to us about a super sexy topic today, and that is insurance. We all have it. Maybe some of you know why you have it. Maybe some of you don't. But he is here to tell us all about why it's important to have insurance. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
So tell us a little bit about McKinney Green Insurance and how long you've been in business.
Well, thanks. So we actually started out as John M. Green Insurance in 1920. We're the oldest business in Franklin, Tennessee.
Wow.
Yeah. And it was 3 generations of Greens, and then I came into the picture in 2018 and took over the daily management of the agency. And when Mr. Green passed away a few years ago, the agency transitioned to me, and at that time I renamed it to be McKinney Green.
And where are you located?
We're located on the square in downtown Franklin.
Prime location.
Yes, 301 Public Square.
So tell us about the insurance business and who your typical client is.
So we're a boutique agency entirely focused on the affluent and high net worth sector of the market. We don't do commercial insurance, and we don't do the average homeowner, but we have a very narrow niche that we focus on.
Okay, so for our clients that are ultra high net worth and high net worth, and they're buying multi-million-dollar properties, you would be the guy that they would go see.
I'd like to think so.
There you go. So what is different between insuring just a regular $300,000 home and a multi-million-dollar home?
Well, many people don't realize that there's a lot more to insurance policies than the price. The products, they're legal contracts, and they're all written differently, and they all vary in what they provide in terms of coverage. And there are different tiers, so to speak. And when you get to the $1 million mark and above, and that's $1 million to rebuild the home, not its selling price, but to rebuild the structure, there's like another tier of carriers. It's Chubb, Pure, Vault, AIG Private Client.
People we've never heard of.
Most people have never heard of them because they don't advertise on TV. It's just like you don't see a Ferrari commercial on TV because they're not advertising to the mass marketplace. And so these carriers are specifically focused on the affluent and ultra affluent, high net worth niche.
So we're looking at insuring the replacement cost, essentially.
Yes.
And that's kind of a way in which we value very unique properties on the real estate side as well. We don't do that a lot because we usually use comparable properties, but sometimes if the property is very unique, we'll do it that way.
Yes, correct, because once you start getting into that higher end luxury home, you start getting more custom features.
Italian chandeliers.
Yes.
This staircase was shipped into gigantic pieces.
Yes.
It's marble, it's this, it's that.
Correct, and there's so many details to it. And so that's where these carriers, they understand that. They're adjusters. They didn't just leave your typical home and are doing a small auto wreck. They didn't leave those type of claims and then they're jumping into a $3 million home. This is all they do, is they understand that those floors were imported hardwoods from France.
Tell us about insurance umbrella policies. What does that mean?
Okay. Yeah, that's a very confusing topic for many people. So an umbrella policy is really another layer of liability insurance. And liability is when you are being sued for something, like you've injured someone in a car accident, or someone's been injured on your property. They've been injured, somebody's drowned in your pool, trampoline accidents, and you're being sued. And what many people have either no extra coverage, or they have $1 million umbrella policy and they think that's sufficient, but now claims are easily exceeding $5 and $10 million.
Wow.
Medical bills alone can reach $1 million. And so we're seeing when somebody's sued for $10 million for, for an auto accident or something happens at their home and they're injured, or they have an employee, a personal assistant that's injured, and then they're getting sued for multi-millions of dollars.
Sure, this could bankrupt someone. It could cripple them financially.
Absolutely, it will. I mean, it's going to hurt, and really the more assets somebody has, the wealthier they are, just the bigger the lawsuit's going to be. And so people ask oftentimes, how much, what limit do I get? And it's pretty standard between the higher end financial advisors, estate attorneys, and insurance agents that do what I do, that you look at getting a limit that's enough to protect what you're exposed to assets. That would be, I'm doing a guy currently right now that he has about a $15 million net worth, but 10 of that is in his business, which is in an LLC.
Okay.
And so that's not as exposed. So we're just doing, we're actually doing a $7 million umbrella policy because we're not worried about his assets that are in the business.
So there's so many different nuances. If you have a business in an LLC, if you have a home, vehicles, many homes, right?
Correct.
So if someone was interested in, speaking to you and getting a consultation, how would they go about that?
Yeah, they can certainly call me or they can email me. We can just have a conversation. There's no obligation, no pressure, and we just kind of talk about your situation and see if you have the right coverages. If you do, I'll tell you, and if not, I'll show you some alternative options.
Well, thank you so much, Ryan, for being here with us today. We
Thank you
really
very much for having
appreciate
me.
bringing this information to our clients.
Yeah, thanks for having me.